How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of AngelsBobs Plus here in Factorio. If you guys have been enjoying the series, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We're in episode 47. I remembered this time. So in between episodes, we went ahead and we set up our, we upgraded the copper all the way with yellow belt. Just 2 lanes for now. I did go ahead and put all the splitters in that we needed though, just so that way each line will be able to pull from all 4. As you can see, we don't have enough production to fill all 4 belts. However, we at least have all 4 smelter sections running. So we at least have a lot more copper production, because before we only had 1. The reason they look so threadbare is because they were gray belt, and that's why they looked so full. And so we doubled the speed up to yellow belt, and so now it's much faster than it previously was. So unfortunately, it is going to be a little bit threadbare, but at least it gives us additional capacity, and we'll start to utilize more of that as we upgrade. Right now we are for research. We've actually almost gone through the whole research queue. So I think the next thing we should go ahead and start researching is let's get started into robotics. Just because I do want to start potentially getting into using the robots, at least for expanding the base a little bit. Some of the other things I do want to try to get into is I want to get better metallurgy. I also want to try to get into better copper smelting if at all possible. But I also want to do let's go ahead and get the strand casting. And then I want to go ahead and get better iron. That's a top priority of mine. Another top priority of mine is to do the copper as well. Just so that way we can get the better versions of those, I guess. Another thing I want to do is we could go ahead and take a look at, let's see, what else are we going to need directly. So as always, let's go ahead and take a look at what the next step for getting, not necessarily getting to there, but what. So our next science packs, as you can see kind of in the web of science packs, is we can either go for the production science pack or we can go for the utility science pack. We're going to need both. However, it looks like we're closer actually to the production science pack over here on the right. They both are made a little bit differently. One's gonna just require us to go a little bit of a different step, and the other one's gonna take us down a slightly different path. But at the end of the day, we need pretty much most of these. So if we just click on this one, we do need the robotics, so that is gonna get us there. We also need some titanium processing. And we are a little bit lacking on this side of things, so I guess we'll queue up some a little better lead smelting for now. That fills out our research queue, and hopefully we'll have all that done by the end of the episode, but we'll see. Okay, so now that we've kind of expanded a few things, we've hooked some more things up, and now we're starting to get more things made. The main thing limiting us for science right now is, of course, the red circuits. Usually is the red circuits. So now we can look and say, okay, well, what do we need to get more red circuits? Well, it looks like we just need more of this copper wire, right? So we're not quite filling the belt. Part of the reason for that is we need faster, let's go express stack inserters, right? Now we'll go ahead and repair those up if we can. Awesome. So as you can see, now we're fully, well, I actually guess I shouldn't say fully, but we are expanding how much we can put onto this belt at one time, to the point where, as you can see, this one's getting resources, this one's also getting resources, and even the top one is now getting resources, which is really good. Now it is going to take a second for everything to kind of catch back up, and for the supplies to get all the way down here. And now it looks as though we should be good. It's not quite enough production, but I believe it's better than what it was. We are able to maintain the current demand, but I believe we want more. Yeah, because even now the aluminum is starting to have a little bit of a trouble catching up. We definitely need more red, so let's go ahead and look at expanding this just a little bit, because we do want to get more blue science. Or at least we want to utilize all of our science machines. Of course, we could scale this back and plug it into our ratio calculator and see how many red machines we're going to need. I'm actually curious how many we would need. So let's go ahead and set that up. Let's see where... So let's go ahead and do red science in a yellow assembler. Calculate by factory. We currently have 12. So we need really not that many of these. And they're being made in this. Yeah, so we only need 7 according to this, which means we have plenty to run all the blue science machines. And as you can see, it is slowly getting there. So we do have plenty of red circuit machines. So it's not a lack of red circuits, I just think we need time for it to catch back up. Yeah, because this number, assembler number 10 over here is getting circuits. Even assembler 11 is getting circuits. I think it's just, it looks like now it's a lack of aluminum. Okay, so let's go take a look upstream at the aluminum. Is it lack of aluminum or just lack of transfer? I believe it's just a lack of transfer. So let's go ahead and just upgrade this belt then, all the way. Ooh, actually most of it already is upgraded. This is good then. So let's see if that's going to be enough. It's going to take a second for the fully condensed left side to get all the way up there. Alright, so we're about here now. It's about here now. Awesome. Awesome, so now we're all the way up here on the left-hand side. So that's pretty good. Perfect, perfect. Awesome. So now if we go ahead and take a look at this kind of left-hand side, we can see that the aluminum is now filling up. And... okay. And all of our blue science machines are working. Awesome. Alright, so we do have this storage container of sapphire, which I am going to go ahead and try to take as much as I can with me. Okay, let's go empty it, just because it is going to be in our way of the bus. So I do want to empty it. I also want to make sure that we're tapping any and all ore fields that could potentially be in our way somewhere. And I've said it before, infinite world, infinite resources, so I could just build over it. However, I find that wasteful, just because I would rather mine the closer ore patch than having to deal with not being able to. Or not really not being able to, but just having increased not production time, but travel time with trains and stuff. Let's go ahead and plug that in. Is this warehouse full? It is close to being full. Okay. So I do want to get wires then hooked up into this. Okay, so what we're gonna go ahead and do is that is split then. Let's do something like this temporarily. Although this one is being mined somewhere, I don't want all the ore just to flow into the warehouse unrestricted, because now we're starting to get to the point where we're mining enough of an ore to where it could and will inevitably block up this. So just temporarily. Yeah, temporarily we're just going to do that. That way it checks and says, hey, nope, we can't fit all the ore in. I am going to stick a bunch of ore though in this guy as well, because this one isn't full, and so that should be fine, because no more ore will go into this, because it's going to see, oh hey, it's full, we can't put any more in, we're going to stop. And as you can see right here, it's not going to let any in because there's more than 10,000. And then here, this will not flow into this one because hey, there's more than 10,000. So at maximum, there's only going to be 20,000 raw ore in this system. And so that's why we're limiting it, is because otherwise this warehouse could fill up and then prevent any new production of the raw ore, such as iron and copper, we need. Alright, so let's go ahead and clean up this a little bit. Kind of like anybody who's ever cooked in a professional kitchen, or even really their home kitchen, should know that you usually clean as you go, or at least you should clean as you go, just so that way you don't have a bunch of things you need to do all at once. And so that's kind of what we're doing right now, is we're just doing some factory maintenance per se. We're picking up the mining drills that are no longer functioning because there's no more ore for them to mine. We're going to move them to places where there is ore for them to mine, just so that way we are utilizing the production or potential production values that they will produce us. And so we'll go ahead and pick up some of these power poles as well. We'll pick up any of the old infrastructure that we can, and then part of it makes the factory look a little bit neater, and it also just helps us utilize our resources just a little bit better. Alright. So let's go ahead and take a look at our map. Awesome. So it doesn't look like anything's going to be too much in our way. We could start to get this rubyite mined. Let's go ahead and take a look at what ore. So the bombonium we're mining is up here. We have plenty. We have 2 million. What about steertite? Steertite we have about 100,000. But luckily there's 1 million right here we can start mining and plug in. We actually might go ahead and start getting it mined. Yeah. We could start to get a storage area at least set up for the slag in the crushed stone somewhere down here. I'm not quite sure where we're going to put that yet, but I think for now we're fine on that. Okay. So we're working on research. Is there anything we're missing for research? No. I guess let's get some more labs. That we can do right now. Let's get some more labs. It's weird. Now I feel like we're at a point where it's like, okay, we can kind of take a little bit of a breather. It's like we're not in the deep of a build right now, which is good. Oh, and I just drove through an area with my nanobots turned on. Oh no. Things are gonna accidentally get built that I really didn't want built, but oh well. That's what happens when you have a bunch of placeholder ghosts all around your base and you run through it with robots or nanobots turned on. Seems not great. So let's go ahead and pick all that up. Awesome. So let's go ahead and then... Oh, how many are we making? We're making 3. So let's make 30 more. Definitely won't be enough. I can tell you right now it's not going to be enough. We currently have 8, so let's make 2 extra. And then, yeah, we'll expand this all the way out. Awesome. Oh, you know what? We don't want to be making these. Well, we do. We just don't want to be making the gears if we don't have to. So there's the 4. Alright, and so we want 5. 1, 2, 3. The top 5. 5, 5. 5, 5. Awesome. We're going to greatly expand our science. I definitely know we're not going to have enough production to keep all these labs going, but hey, that is fine. Hopefully I counted correctly. And I did not. There we go. Definitely am not going to have enough science packs for this. It's going to look like we do for probably about 10 seconds. And then we're going to quickly run out. This is more than likely how it's going to work. Awesome. We do have a nice disco ball. Sorry for anybody who does have any sort of like light sensitivity. Like strobe effects. I won't spend too much time over there. But it is much more expanded, and we can actually kind of see that progress now on the progress bar. Oof, that is nice. That is really nice. Let's go ahead and upgrade red science though to the better assemblers. While I'm thinking, well, you know, let's go through and upgrade things we can, and just kind of get us to a point where we can start expanding the factory more, right? The expanding factory is expanding to meet the expanding needs of the expanding factory. It's a demoralization poster, I guess. Awesome. And with all things, let's go ahead and do this. There we go. Awesome. So we now have, well, I don't want to say much more red, but we do have more red production. And we've also sped up red production. So let's just make sure that we're getting enough. I also want to make sure we speed up green as well. And the overall goal right now is just to make sure that we are maintaining production. So we scaled that one up to, how much? 9. So then we want this one to go up to 12. So let's just add 4 more. So let's go like so. Like so. Awesome. Perfect. There we go. Awesome. And, yeah, we don't need to put it on both sides, although it does give us a little bit of a nice buffer. Not a whole lot. I'm not going to worry about it. But if you really, really wanted to, you can put it on both sides. It's not going to change a whole lot. Your main buffer is going to be this long belt. And eventually, once we get robots, we'll have robots just move it over here. Well, once we get robots that are fast, I should say, and can carry a lot. Alright, well, at least right now it looks like we're doing not half bad. I'm just kind of watching this. I could pull up the production tab right here and just take a look at it this way. And just go, like, scroll all the way down until we find, like, the blue science. Red and green, and we can see how much we're producing. And then we can also look at their counterparts. So we're producing pretty much about the same. Same number. 90, about 10 more green. So we could scale red up a little bit more, it looks like. We probably add 1 more red. So let's go ahead and do that. So it looks like each one produces 9 a minute, so that should produce 90 red a minute. Give or take. Like 1 or 2. Awesome. So, okay, so it looks like everything's been able to keep up and manage just fine for that about like 1.5, 2 minutes. Perfect. Awesome. So looks like green could maybe use a little bit more. Blue definitely is not keeping up. There's not. Okay, so let's go see. Whoa, we have no blue production. Why is no blue being made? Now I'm curious. It looks like because there's no red, because there's no something being made, because none of these are being made. There's no phenolic solution. Or ferric chloride? Yeah, there's no ferric chloride. Where is my ferric chloride solution? To the north we go. Oh, without running into a rock. Did I run into something that caused this to be cut off? No. Okay, it has iron. We don't have chlor... Shit. Okay. Well, I see the problem. We need an override valve. I guess let's go, well, an overflow valve, which we have plenty of. So when we have overflow, I don't know if both of them will overflow, but in case they do, let's burn them both. Okay, so that should get us enough. Alright. So, yeah, so it looks pretty good, I guess. Awesome. Alright, so it looks like we fixed the ferric chloride solution system. So that should be good now. So now blue science should, big keyword, should be getting made again. Awesome, so let's finish emptying this out. Seriously, 800 is all that's left? So, yeah, let's just drop this then. Perfect. So let's head up north, drop it off. And then, oh, no, well, we'll just work on a few more things. Okay, good. For a second I thought I had my nanobots turned on. That would not have been good. You know what? Let's go ahead and actually just get this warehouse going up here. So which one is the one that goes to the correct and corresponding section? This one. So it's going to be this one, which... is this top left one. Awesome. And we'll go something like that. Awesome. I like how I can just drag my mouse over things and they get placed. I think that's Picker doing that. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I don't want to give out bad information, but I think it's Picker. Picker is amazing. For those of you who have played the modded Factorios and have been following along, Picker is amazing. It is, in my opinion, one, if not the most essential, like, vanilla plus mod that is out there. It doesn't overhaul the game in a way that makes it crazy overpowered or, you know, just crazy weird, like Bobs or Angels. It makes the game better. It's a quality of life mod, in my opinion, and a lot of its mechanics really should be in the base game but aren't for, you know, one or several reasons. Although I will say the Factorio developers are very good at integrating mods that the community finds are really good. Usually it's just quality of life ones. They don't usually integrate any of the like crazy like overhaul mods, but they will from time to time add things that are seem useful for the community. Oh geez, we finished all that science queue already? That is insane now that we've scaled that up. So I guess let's go ahead and just continue researching all of the green science. Might as well, right? Awesome. And then as we need to, we'll change up the queue. Let's go ahead and continue this all the way down. Awesome. And we'll go like that. Okay. So I do want to get this changed just a little bit. So let's go like that and that. So it's gonna look something. Okay, let's go like that then. Like that. Something like that. Something like that. Something like that. That and like that. Awesome. So I want this to be input priority. Really, input priority left, and then no. Oh, output priority. Input priority left. And then this one I want input priority. Yeah, this one doesn't really matter, but that should be fine. And then I do have some in my inventory. Is rubyite part of this? Yes. What about ammonium? Yes. Awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab some more crushed stone out of this thing. As you can see, we have several 100,000 of the slag and the crushed stone. We are going to have to start dealing with that because it will slowly gum up the works, if you will. So we'll have to start processing that somewhere. Maybe we'll focus on, at the very least, getting a storage area set up for it sometime in the next couple episodes. We'll see, though. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab a car. Okay, so now I think the next thing we should start working on. And so I think let's head down to Silicon Land and get this thing set up. Do we have the research for it now? I thought we got it. We have maybe gotten it? Let's check the blueprint, because the blueprint's actually, I feel like, the easiest way to tell. Actually don't know where that blueprint for that one would be. This one? Yeah, we don't have it yet. And you can tell that because the, like, the no symbol, or the like, red, the circle with the slash through it, that's red on the recipe. That means we don't have it, or it's not in the game. Actually, if it's not in the game, it wouldn't show that. If it's not in the game, I believe it shows up as a question mark. However, we don't have it researched, and so that's what it's telling us is, hey, you don't have this researched, so this won't work. However, we do have really good research now. Oh my god, we've already halfway gone through this. Oh jeez. So let's get the, yeah, so this is the one we need, the advanced silicon processing. Another one we could look at is we could look at the better tin, because I do know we are going to need considerable amounts of tin. Let's see, what's another one we could look at? Glass smelting. Yeah, let's go ahead and look at the glass smelting. Could always be a good one. We will need it anyway for the advanced electronics for the blue circuits. I will say I like the reskinning mod just so that I can kind of correlate, hey, this is what tier of circuit we're on, and it helps anybody who's playing vanilla or who hasn't played modded, it helps kind of make the connection of what tier we're on versus white circuit boards and yellow circuit boards. It's like, oh no, I don't know what tier you're on. And especially when you have a lot of the intermediate circuit boards as well, it does get a little bit confusing. But I think by having the the reskin, it definitely helps people kind of visualize that, hey, we're on blue circuits, or right now we just finished making red circuits. And so I feel like it's a good correlation for new players who are watching either the series or who are watching modded in general. I think it's a good way just for players to see kind of what we're doing and how we're doing it. Some of the other things I guess we could research is, I guess, research time or speed. We haven't done any of those. All right, so we're going to go ahead and continue with those researches then. So in the meantime, let's see, what else could we work on in this episode? I guess we could work on kind of planning our next steps on the bus. I think that could be a good idea. How's Blue Science handling? Blue Science is actually handling really... I am surprised we are producing enough science for this. I really, really am. I'm honestly surprised. I'm optimistically surprised, I guess I should say. Alright, so... should this green? Green looks like it's not being able to be produced fast enough. So let's go upgrade a few things on green, and then let's go work on just clearing trees, and perhaps working, without crashing into anything, working on kind of expanding over to the east a little bit. And so the next science pack we're going to be going for is... honestly, I don't know which one I want to go for next, because they're both important, and technically I guess we could go for both of them at the same time, but as they both are of, you know, more or less the same tier. Oh, we need more. More. Oh, no. Not more of those. More of these. You know, which is fun. So... nope. We'll just go with something like this, something like this, something like this. And of course, let's go ahead and speed this guy up all the way. And yep, awesome. Let's go to make sure we speed up these turns because what I found is I'll upgrade everything but this one belt, and it doesn't matter that upstream and downstream are upgraded if this one belt is not upgraded, because it won't be able to go as fast. It will slow it down. And so that's why we primarily focus on the other one. Awesome. Awesome. Alright, so I mean, everything's looking like it's catching up now, so we should be doing good. Oh yeah. Yep, so let's head over to the east. Alright, so let's pick up the chest. So let's take a look for a second at the science packs that we could be producing. So the 2 sciences we have left. Actually, I guess let's just research it this way. So we are pretty much at the halfway point. We're a little over the halfway point if you want to look at it that way, right? Because space science packs technically come after the rocket. And I'm not going to say the rocket's like our end game, because we do have the space exploration mod, which will continue our campaign just a little bit after we get the rockets, which is good. So let's go ahead and take a look at the production science pack. And as you can see, we pretty much have most of everything we need researched. We need to research some geode processing, some modules, it looks like, and then advanced material processing. But if we want to just look at the science pack for it, it really hasn't changed from vanilla. It's still rails, still electric furnaces, and it's still production modules. So it's not crazy difficult. And that's kind of the goal of Angels and Bobs, is it doesn't really overhaul in that regard. It just makes producing these items specifically more difficult. And yes, it is that time, however, but I do want to finish up this thought. So if you look at the electric furnace, it requires red circuits, stone brick, and steel. Well, we know stone brick is pretty easy to produce. Steel we are producing, and red we're producing. So technically we can make all these components for purple right now. If we research this, we could build it pretty much right now. We are going to have to do the modules, which, as you can see, are a lot of components that we're going to need to do. But with that, I think we're going to go ahead and end the episode here. So thank you all for watching. If you guys really enjoyed the episode, and if you guys have been enjoying the series, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help out the channel a whole lot, and I want to say about 70 or 80% of you guys are not subscribed yet. Come on, what are you waiting for? It's free. So, with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.